Hi everyone, today we are going to learn about external respiration. And do you remember what we call external respiration? Yes, breathing, simple breathing, okay? Students, we normally breathe through our nose, you all know, sometimes even through our mouth as well, but that is not good, okay? So if we close our nostrils and mouth tightly, what will happen? After some time, okay, we soon started feeling uneasy and cannot hold our breath even for a minute. Okay, we cannot live for more than a few minutes without breathing air. So external respiration, or we can say that the process of breathing, it takes place with the help of two processes. First one is the inhalation, as you all know, inhale, in means inside. So the thing is, the air is going inside, and you know what air is going inside, which gas we are taking inside. Here's the air which is rich in oxygen. So what is inhalation? The taking in of air rich in oxygen into the body is called inhalation. And the next process is exhalation. Exit means going out. Okay, so what is exhalation? The giving out of air rich in what? Do you remember what you give out? Which gas? Carbon dioxide. So the giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide outside the body is called as exhalation. So what is breathing? It is a combination of inhalation and exhalation, we can say that. And see students, breathing is a continuous process which goes on all the time throughout the life of an organism, even when you are sleeping. Okay, now we have learned that in breathing both inhalation and exhalation take place. Okay, so what it means actually? A breath, a single breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. Okay, and we call it as a breathing rate. So what is breathing rate? The number of time a person breathes in a minute is called a breathing rate. Okay, and on an average, an adult human being at rest, when you are sitting at a rest, so you breathe in and out 15 to 18 times a minute. Okay, and during heavy exercise, does it increase or decrease? Yes, because in earlier session we had learned that when you do heavy exercise, okay, so the breathing increases. So breathing rate can increase up to 25 times per minute. So do you know why it is? Because that also we had learned in the previous session, that why we are breathing so fast, why, and sometimes why we are taking air instead of through our nose, why we are opening our mouth and taking more and more air from mouth, even why it is so. Yes, this is because whenever we do heavy exercise we need extra energy, and we not only breathe fast but also take deep breaths. Okay, as a result more oxygen is inhaled and supplied to our cells. It speeds up the breakdown of food and more energy is released, and the breathing rate of a person is lowest when he is sleeping, because minimum energy is required at that time during sleeping. Okay, now students, we will learn about the next thing, that how do we breathe. Okay, because in digestive system we have learned we are having buccal cavity, we are having esophagus, so many organs are involved, and the tract, a channel was there. So in this also we will learn about a few tract or a channel, and let us explore that one. So the human respiratory system, it consists of many organs. Let us know the name of their organ. Okay, nose, nostril, nasal cavity, trachea, lungs, bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli. Is it tough? No, not at all, because we will learn with the help of this amazing picture. Okay, look at the diagram. It is very easy. If I will, the way I am explaining, just carefully observe the diagram and the path of air from where it goes inside the body and how it goes to the lungs, and ultimately what is the end point of the oxygen, okay, and how it goes to the cell after that of the entire body. Okay, let us now learn about how do we breathe. Students, our nose has two holes which are called nostrils. There is a passage in the nose behind the nostril and we call it as a nasal cavity. Like buccal cavity, here we are having nasal cavity. Normally we take in air through our nostril. When we inhale air, it passes through our nostril into the nasal cavity. As the air passes through this cavity, it becomes warm. It also gets moistened by the mucus secreted by the membrane lining of the nasal cavity, okay, and dust and other particles present in the air get trapped by the mucus and the hair present in the nasal cavity. So we are having importance of hair, okay. You might have seen hair inside. Have you ever experienced that you are having hair inside your? Yes, because they are very very small. Might be you had not noticed, but you are having hair, and there is a function of having hair in the in your nose, and the layer of mucus. Mucus. Do you remember mucus is sticky substance? Okay. So whenever some external foreign material, or we can say that dust and germs, they stick outside only. They will not go inside. What a defensive system, and how God had made us so that it should be well protected from the all the things. Okay, let us explore then after that where it goes. So what happened actually? From the nasal cavity, the clean and moist and warm air, it passes into the trachea. So trachea here is a windpipe. Okay, it is a pipe. Do you remember in digestive system we are having esophagus, the food pipe? So here we are having trachea, that is called as the windpipe. So from nostril through the nose, then the nasal cavity, then we are having a pipe which we call trachea. Okay, and see student, the trachea is bifurcated into two channels, that is bronchus. Okay, so the trachea branches into two thinner tubes called bronchus, and when we call it singular, then it is called as bronchi, which enter into the organ which we called as lungs. Okay, after entering the lungs, each bronchus is divided to form a large number of small tubes called bronchioles. Are you able to see further? Just like a branch of a tree. Okay, so the bronchioles have a tiny air sac at their ends called alveoli. Okay, so each lung contain millions of alveoli. Do you know that our lung contain about 300 million alveoli, and that's why the lung are the only organs in our body which can float. You should have some general knowledge also that which organ is which is the organ which can float. Okay, so lungs, because it is having alveoli, and it is, what is alveoli? It is, they are the air spaces. Okay, let us explore more about what is alveoli. The wall of the alveoli are very thin, and it is surrounded by very thin blood capillaries. Blood capillary means it is having blood inside it. So the air from the trachea through the bronchioles finally enters the alveoli. Okay, let us now revise with the help of this track. Okay, how the gas goes inside and then how it comes outside. Are you able to see the two arrows? First the arrow is going in one direction, okay, from left to right, and then it is coming out again from right to left. Okay, in both the tracks. So from nose the air goes to nasal cavity, then from nasal cavity larynx is called the voice box. Okay, and that then the trachea, from trachea it goes to bronchi to bronchiole to alveoli, and all these three things, bronchi, bronchiole and alveoli, they are present inside the lung. So alveoli is having what? blood vessels. Do you remember when we were discussing about the absorption of the food inside the small intestine? Villi, do you remember Villi? What Villi is having? Villi is having blood vessels, blood capillaries. On from there, the simplest form of the food goes to the blood, and the blood then them to the cells. Okay. Here also the same thing follows. Here what is going inside? Oxygen is going inside, and alveoli is having the blood vessels. So alveoli which is having the blood vessels. So oxygen ultimately goes to the blood, and then blood put that oxygen inside the cell, and that cell, already the cell is having what? Glucose. And now the cell is having what? Oxygen. Do you remember the reaction which I had told you? Aerobic respiration. Do you remember? Now the cell, can you imagine, the cell is having, with the help of digestive system, the cell is having glucose. Okay. Now just like the transporters, like during the digestive system, ultimately the simple form of the food, it is transported by the blood to the cell, and they had dropped glucose inside the cell. Okay. Now in this track, with the help of respiratory system, we can say that external respiration, breathing process, what actually the oxygen is going inside the blood, and then blood is transported that oxygen in the cell where already glucose is present. Now there is a combination of what? Glucose and oxygen. The reaction will take place, and that's why, because it is inside the cell. Do you remember? That's why we call it as a cellular respiration, but that we will learn further. Okay, that reaction takes place inside the cell. Got it? So this is the air tract. Now we will learn the exchange of gases and in the alveolus. Okay, what actually happened? So here, student, the oxygen of the air, it diffuses out from the thin wall of the alveoli into the blood capillaries. Now what happened? Oxygen, it combined with the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, students, it is the like chlorophyll. Do you remember? What is chlorophyll? It is a green pigment of leaf. So our blood is red in color, so red pigment is hemoglobin, and we will learn in detail about hemoglobin in next chapter. Okay, in circulation in human organisms. Okay. Now what happened? Oxygen combines with the hemoglobin which is present in the blood to form oxyhemoglobin, and it is carried out to all the cells of the body. Similarly, now we are going in the reverse channel. Okay, just remember the end product of the reaction, aerobic reaction. What we get? Carbon dioxide. So energy is utilized by the organism, but we are having two waste product. One is water. Okay, it is like absorbed by the body, that we will learn in excretory. When we will learn in excretory system, then I will explain you. Okay, but what is there? The gas, carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide produced by the breakdown of food during the internal respiration enters the blood again. Blood carries the carbon dioxide to the alveoli in the lungs. From the lungs, carbon dioxide is removed with the air we breathe out. So in this way, the exchange of gases takes place inside the alveolus. Okay, I hope you are able to understand. Is it fascinating? Like, we are taking so much time to learn the entire detail of respiration, and it takes hardly a second to breathe. Okay, this is all for this session. Stay blessed and happy.